Uh, So hi guys. So today is Monday, is 9th of September, and this is Jacob. And today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, and it's about traveling, and how you can travel with no money, at all, or at least with no money which you have. You don't have to be millionaire to travel around the world. So, and that's my story, how I did it. So I have been traveling for 3.5 years. I travel like to New Zealand. I spent 15 months in New Zealand, and after that, I I went to Fiji. From Fiji to Thailand, and from Thailand to England, and from England I went to Canada, and from Canada I went to Western Sahara and Morocco, and from Morocco I came here back to Prague, and I have been here for 3 months so far. So that's my travel, and I travel without money. So I had a little bit of money, and I use working holiday program. I use working holiday program in New Zealand, and same in Canada, and I work in England too. So that's why I could travel for 3.5 years. So what is working holiday program? It's program for young people, like between 18 and 30 years old, and you can, like in my country for example, you have a lot of countries like out from the European Union, and you can check it on your government website, and there are some conditions you have to have for this kind of visa, and then you can just write your government or apply online for your visa, and you get visa, and you can go and work in some country for a year or 15 months or stuff like this, like for a year or 2 years, it depends on the country, and it's a really good experience. So that's how I get to New Zealand. I just applied for my visa, and I save some kind of money, because like that you have condition that you have to be less than 35 in my country, and then you have to have like $4,000 on your account. But and then it's also like it's just for 1,200 people only a year, so you have to apply 3rd of March, or it's not like precise, because every year is a little bit different, and then you have to go to your government website, and or I think maybe New Zealand website, I'm not sure which one, but I'm sure you know how to Google. And I just like apply for a visa this 3rd of March, and I get my visa, and in that point when I get my visa, I had 1 year to move to New Zealand. So after 1 year, my visa, if I didn't go, my visa expired. So at that point, I start saving my money. I sell everything. I bought flight ticket. I bought my insurance, and I saved some money. And I borrowed some money, of course. And then I went to New Zealand, and I have to say that it's really good to have saved some money, because for example New Zealand and Australia, they're like a super expensive countries, so you have to count that you are not going to start working immediately if you go on blind, so which means you don't have scheduled your work, or you don't have your work. And I went like on blind just to Auckland, and then after that I just starting to look for a job, and yeah, so it was a little bit hardcore. It's really nice to have some kind of money saved if you decide to do stuff like this, because you are very far away from home. It's like 12 hours difference, so yeah, it teach me a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff about myself and how to be independent, and how to appreciate, how to lose your ego, and what is important, and what is not important, and what are the friends, and what people want and what they don't want, and how to be happy. For example, like this is a really important thing. How to be happy is a difficult question, because if you are living in a city like this for 3 million people, it's like artificial like happiness, because it's a money driven city, for example. So everybody thinks that if he has some stuff, he is better than somebody who doesn't have a stuff, for example. And it's the same with like education and stuff like this. Everybody like to wear very expensive clothes, because if you have expensive clothes, you think that you are a better person than the people who doesn't have expensive clothes, for example, which is like a bullshit, completely bullshit. And if you borrow money for that, it's just like completely nonsense, and nobody will appreciate like that your experience, that you was somewhere or something like this. But if you do travel, like a long-term travel, it's really nice to have long-term travel, because in my country, for example, people are working really hard, and they are not, they don't have like a year off or something like this. It's like, I don't know, it's not normal, I think. But if you get a year off and you are just traveling and working like on the vineyard, I was working on the vineyard and like cherry picking, blueberry picking and stuff like this, you realize that your time is really valuable, or is really important. It's like the most important thing you have. And if you go to work, it's really stupid to spend your money for stuff, because like the most important thing is your time. And if you spend your money for your time and experience, and maybe for the people you love, like your wife or your child or something like this, is important, but not just for stuff, because stuff is basically nothing. It's like experience is like the most valuable thing, like life lessons and stuff like this. So yeah, so my advice for today is don't afraid to travel, and don't trust people who are not happy and telling you like how to be happy, or if somebody will telling you how to live your life. And yeah, go and check out Working Holiday for sure. If you are not like a millionaire or something like this, it will be like a great adventure. It was the best year of my life in New Zealand, and in Canada I learned a lot. I learned how it is to be cold, because there is like a minus 45 sometimes. And but it's a really beautiful country with a lot of mountains, and like if you like snowboarding, or I don't know, like the winter sports, you will love the country. And you will like met people you have never met in your life, like the Maori people in New Zealand, or like Australian people, or I don't know. They're so different. Like Europeans, they're like the all Europeans, they're same. But people like Native Americans in Canada, like they are really like different. It's the same like with the people in Africa. Like if you speak with the people like this, it's really interesting. Like how you realize how is nice to be European, because Europeans they are really intelligent. If to compare with like another like this parts of country like Africa or America, or I don't know, everywhere, I think everywhere. So that's today is a little bit different topic, but I think it's pretty valuable. And if you are young, go for a traveling for sure, at least for a year, if you are not connected with like children or wife, or like a long-term contract. like appreciate your time and don't work too hard and travel a lot and make friends, because friends are the most important things you have in your life, and like of course like a health and friends. Okay guys, so that was my self-talk. Nobody's watching anyway, but if you will go to the site, if you are here and you watch my video, like you can push the like button, it will be really nice. Okay, so that was Jacob. Today is Monday, and see you next time. Peace.